fans, Happy Trooper here with another prop build. This episode is for the ladies. Today we'll build a Rey-inspired quarterstaff using PVC parts. Let's get started! Here's a quick view of the PVC components that we'll be working with. All of these items were found at Home Depot. Links to each product are in the description below. The first thing that we'll want to do is remove the lettering from all of our PVC components. A few quick strokes with 120 grit sandpaper will remove it in no time. After the lettering has been removed, move up to some 220 grit sandpaper to smooth out the finish. Next, get your 1 1/4 inch PVC pipe and some 1 inch width tape. Starting at the top of the pipe, wrap a piece of tape around the pipe, wrap a second piece just below the first piece, and finally add a third piece below the second piece. The 1 inch tape will help us cut a 1 inch width piece of pipe, and it will act as a guide as we twist the pipe while sawing. Remove the top piece of tape and begin sawing with a hacksaw. Once you get a groove cut into the PVC, slowly rotate the pipe using the tape as a guide. This should help you get a somewhat even circular cut. Repeat once more to get a second 1 inch ring. On the same piece of 1 1/4 inch pipe, measure approximately 6 inches down from the top and wrap some 1 inch tape around the PVC. Make a circular cut with your hacksaw. Repeat once more to get a second 6 inch piece of pipe. While you still have your saw and tape out, grab the 1 inch diameter PVC pipe. Obtain the height of the person using the quarterstaff and add 6 inches. This will be the total length of the staff. My 8-year-old daughter will be using this prop. She stands at 49 inches tall. If I add 6 inches to her height, the total length of the PVC pipe will be 55 inches. Use your 120 and 220 grit sandpaper to smooth out those rough edges on the pieces that you just cut. With all of our parts sanded and cut, we can begin assembling the ends of the staff. Lay out the parts as shown. Using 220 grit sandpaper, go over all the connection points to rough up the surface for the adhesive. To secure all of the parts, I will be using E6000. It will form a strong bond, but it does take a full 24 hours to cure. If you are pressed for time, you can use 5-minute plastic epoxy. Apply E6000 to all of the joints. If you have a little overflow, E6000 rubs off easily after it dries. Epoxy does not. Repeat this step for the other side of the staff. For the quarterstaff ends, we'll be using 1 inch PVC caps. If you do not have access to a Dremel, you can use 1 inch PVC slip caps and skip this step. If you do have access to a Dremel, you can use 1 inch ribbed PVC caps. Sand out the threads inside the cap until it fits comfortably over the 1 inch PVC pipe. Using 400 grit sandpaper, sand over all of the pieces that will get painted. You will also want to sand the 1 inch PVC pipe that is acting as our quarterstaff. For the cylindrical parts, sand around the tube, not up and down. In a well-ventilated area, spray all of the pieces with flat black. Use light mist coats in a back and forth motion. Keep the can moving to prevent puddles, runs, and drips. After 1 hour, flip the parts over and apply another coat. After 24 hours, apply a final coat. This next part is optional if you'd like to go for a gunmetal finish. After the parts have dried for 24 hours, get some ultrafine steel wool and rub down all of the components. This will create very fine surface scratches that will allow graphite powder to seep into. You don't need to be rough, just enough to take the shine down. You do not want to remove any black paint. With a flat 3/4 inch brush, generously apply powdered graphite and rub it in. You will begin to see a subtle gunmetal finish come through. Apply the graphite powder to all components. When finished, seal it with clear satin spray. Apply liberally with light misting strokes. The satin finish is required, otherwise the graphite will rub off when it's touched. Next we'll apply some light weathering to the edges and raised areas of the staff. Dip a number 4 shader brush into some Tester's metallic silver enamel and rub off almost all of the paint on a paper towel. Gently go over any edges and raised areas to create a weathered metal effect. Take your flexible protective conduit and remove one of the ends. Next, slice around the bottom to free the plastic coating. Unscrew the plastic coating. We now have 2 options for the conduit. We'll start with the non-Dremel method. Print out the template in the description below and wrap it around the plastic coating. This will aid in cutting out 2 3-inch sections of conduit. After these sections have been cut, apply vinyl spray paint in black. Please note that normal spray paint will not adhere to this material. You must use spray paint for vinyl. If you have access to a Dremel, you can use the metal portion of the conduit. Print out the template from the description below, wrap around the conduit, and use a metal cutting disc to cut out the 2 sections. Be sure to use eye protection and also use a pollen mask or respirator. To begin construction of the leather strap holder, print out the template in the description below and cut it out. Tape the template over the piece of leather and begin cutting. To reinforce the leather, I will be backing it with 1-inch nylon strapping. Mark your snap target hole. Bore a hole into the leather and the nylon strap and insert one end of the snap. Split the snap using a Phillips screwdriver and then use the snap setter tool to secure the snap. Repeat on all edges of the strap. Install the 3/4 inch D-ring in the middle of the straps. At the end of the exercise, you should have 2 straps with securing snaps that will fasten around a 1-inch PVC pipe. We can now put all of our parts together and finish the quarterstaff. Using 2 of the rubber rings from the 1-inch compression couplings, twist them down towards the middle of the painted 1-inch PVC pipe. They will be adjusted later. Next, slide the 1 1/4 inch PVC ring towards the rubber compressor. Follow it with the conduit. Slide the main end assembly Install the second rubber ring from the compression coupling and fasten its end cap. Slide the 1-inch PVC cap on the end of the pipe. To secure the 1 1/4 inch ring, wrap a piece of friction tape around the staff and slide the ring over the tape. Secure the leather straps. Use your choice of fabric for the grip. I used some washed duck cloth cut in a 2-inch strip and secured it with hot glue. This strip was left over from my Tuscan Raider mask. The strips were washed and then dyed with a mixture of Rit taupe and pearl gray. I wrap some undyed Osnaburg fabric on top, again securing it with hot glue. To top things off, you can find an inexpensive shoulder strap on eBay. This concludes the build. Thank you for watching.